the quality of the arenas in the market. Of course, you have some great arenas now in Turkey, and quality, and a question of the amount of interest in those markets as well. One thing that I believe will help us going forward is that when we just finished our new collective bargaining negotiations, and the agreement will be final within the next week or so. And what we've done in the new collective bargaining agreement with the cooperation of our players is add an extra week to the season, still have the same number of games, but additional week. And that week will be very helpful in allowing international play mid-season, because we can build in those extra days for rest when our players are traveling long distances. So what we plan to do is, once that new collective bargaining agreement is complete, take a fresh look, especially in the markets throughout Europe, where it's, from a practical standpoint, more likely that we can add additional regular season games. So that will be something that we're focused on. We are going to take a fresh look at the format, specifically in the last 2 minutes. We have a competition committee that reviews those matters and then takes them to, in essence, our full board of owners. The competition committee had begun studying those issues last year, specifically at the number of timeouts that are allowed in the last 2 minutes. And my sense is we are going to be taking a fresh look at the end of the season. And something that we track very closely. So in the league office, we time out every game. We know exactly how much each possession takes. And again, we can also look at minute-by-minute ratings, so we know at what point fans are potentially tuning out as well.
NBA Commissioner Adam Silver speaking on increasing the number of regular season games outside of the USA.
I mean, touching the rules.
And touching the rules as well too. And Austin, I was saying, for them it's all about developing the market.
That's what it is.
And they know there's potential out there. I mean, the NBA games, I mean, in Nigeria, the followership is incredible as well too. And it's like that all around the world. So one day, sometime, we might have...
It might have been, even if it's an exhibition game.
Even if
exactly. We saw the All-Stars in South Africa last year.
Why not?
Okay, stop dreaming. Yeah, I think one thing I love that he said was the fact that he said something like about 25% of the NBA players they have this season. Actually, you have about 25% of them were born in Europe, outside of the United States and all that. You also have some in Africa. So if you have that, so he feels if you want to make it global, that means these guys who are from these particular countries, you can get to play games in their country. But the focus right now is in London and also in Europe. They're not looking at Africa right now. So keep dreaming. Maybe in 10 years' time, we can definitely, have something like that in Nigeria.
No, and when you put planning into it, and
I said 10 years.
No, when you put planning into it and put realistic efforts, invest, you can start thinking towards, making it a reality. We have seen the MPFL All-Stars go play against La Liga teams.
We are talking about NBA here.
No, I'm saying that's what it is. That's what it is. That's global branding right there, So if we put more money into our league, do the right things that can make it international, why not?
Okay, but another thing is that changing of the rules whereby you have to reduce the minute. I'm not happy with that. Just leave it. I think I love that suspense. That kind of 3 seconds to go and all that, I think that's the sweetest part of the NBA.
Well, that's for you. Yeah, but obviously, I understand Cecilia's she's quite skeptical.
This year.
Because I mean, we're a long way from doing stuff like that, but it is possible. It can happen.
Give us 10 years.
10 years is not far.
Yes, 10 years. 10 years. Well, no, 10 years. We start talking about the possibility of them coming. Then maybe 5, 15 years. Okay, then 20. Okay, fine. Right.
That's because it's basketball.
Australia.
But because since we're getting into tennis, the Lagos Governors Cup brings international tennis players here.
Okay.
So if we get
not at ATP level.
Why
if we get serious, Ty or Cecilia, listen, it starts that way. We've seen guys that come.
He said the reason why they want to make NBA global brand is because about 25% of players this season were born in Europe. He never mentioned Africa. We're going to Australian Open and Novak Djokovic and Fernando Verdasco.
Right?
I'm not looking down on the league.
Just being realistic. Realistic. We're a long way.
We're a long way to go.
We're a long way from staging an NBA game.
It will take some time, but don't worry. Let's talk about the Australian
Open.
It's okay.
Fernando Verdasco and Novak Djokovic. Remember what happened one time when Fernando Verdasco actually knocked out Rafael Nadal in the opening round? last year. I mean, he's going to be facing Novak Djokovic. Can we see an upset?
Very, very, very tough way to start the defense of the Australian Open title. Fernando Verdasco. Remember, they met just last week. That was in the semi-finals of the Qatar Open, and it was a very tough one. Game. I remember Djokovic had to save, a lot of match points in that game to overcome Verdasco. So it would be very tricky.
Opening round of his favorite surface. But he's the king of Australian Open.
Come on, you just took the words out of my mouth. His favorite surface, defending champion, looking for 7th crown. I don't see any upsets in this one.
You don't see any upsets? No upsets. But with Fernando Verdasco and the style of tennis he's playing, yes, they all love Djokovic in Melbourne, but that's Verdasco's motivation right there, because he knows Tyot Salam thinks he has no chance against Novak Djokovic. The crowd will be rooting for Novak Djokovic.
Okay, now, once he passed this test, now there's another test then. Grigor Dimitrov in the 4th round.
Incredible.
Why is this draw not favorable to him at all?
2017. I love it.
Grigor Dimitrov coming off the back of winning in Brisbane. So obviously his confidence is sky high now. So he'll be going into
same country, same weather, same courts, everything.
Exactly. So he'll be going into the game. That's if they both progress. Confident, thinking he can, get one over Novak Djokovic. Still on Djokovic's side of the draw.
Okay.
If he advances to the quarterfinals,
after
who's it likely to meet next?
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. I think there's a certain. Do we have? There's a certain.
There's a Dominic Thiem.
There's Dominic Thiem.
Yeah, very likely it meets Dominic Thiem in the quarterfinals. Dominic Thiem last year, the breakout season for me, was one of the most impressive on tour. And it's a very tough one for Novak Djokovic, but that's why he's a champion. I don't think this will face him at all.
But we know Djokovic.
Yeah,
when you start anything that has final, quarterfinals, semi-finals, final,
it's almost unstoppable.
You can't stop Djokovic right there. So with that, but Cecilia, this is what we've been saying. Now we love the fact that he's drawn against Verdasco, and we're giving Verdasco a little chance that he can create an upset, a little chance. And then he gets to play Dimitrov, same thing. So if the men's circuit is competitive enough, we cannot just come out and say one guy will just sweep everyone aside.
Yeah, we can't say that. We can't say that.
But this is Australian Open. There's someone that has been sweeping everybody aside.
This is 2017.
Okay, but we're going to break now. When we return, we have to talk about the world #1 Andy Murray as well. So stay with us.